Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. I'm your anchor. Name. In a rapidly escalating crisis, tensions between the US and Iran are pushing the world to the brink. The conflict has sparked a heated debate between US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over the possibility of a war with Iran. Today, we'll take a closer look at the developments that are shaping the Middle East and what it means for global stability. We'll examine the latest twists and turns in the US-Iran standoff and its impact on the global economy. A contentious rift between two of America's most powerful allies is emerging as the US President and Israeli Prime Minister exchange words on Iran. The tensions between Israel and Iran have escalated, threatening to undermine the fragile ceasefire deal in the region. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been a vocal critic of Iran's nuclear ambitions, and his comments have put him at odds with US President Donald Trump. In a recent speech, Netanyahu warned that Iran was on the brink of a nuclear bomb, sparking a diplomatic row with the US. Trump has taken a more relaxed approach to Iran, and his administration has been critical of Netanyahu's hawkish stance. The US president has also been pushing for a new nuclear deal with Iran, which Netanyahu opposes. The divisions between the two leaders are not just about Iran, but also about the broader Middle East peace process. Netanyahu's comments have been seen as a challenge to Trump's Iran policy, and the US president has responded by saying that his administration is not going to be lectured by Israel on the Iran issue. The situation is further complicated by Iran's recent missile strikes on Israeli targets in Lebanon, which have raised concerns about the stability of the region. The ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon is already fragile, and the recent escalation of tensions has raised fears that it could collapse. The US is caught in the middle, with its own interests and priorities at odds with those of Israel. As the situation continues to unfold, one thing is clear. The divisions between Netanyahu and Trump are putting the US at risk of being boxed in on the Iran issue. As tensions continue to escalate with the US, former American diplomats now believe that war in the Middle East has significantly altered Iran's nuclear stance. A recent escalation in the Middle East has given Iran significant leverage in its nuclear program, according to two senior negotiators from the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. The US-Israeli attack on Iran in March, which targeted key military sites, led to Tehran's swift closure of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway that controls access to the world's oil supplies. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point, with the US Navy's Fifth Fleet patrolling the area. The closure would significantly disrupt global energy markets and give Iran a powerful bargaining chip in its relations with the US. This move has effectively leveled the playing field, allowing Iran to counter the asymmetry of power with the US, according to Alan Eyre, a former diplomat who helped negotiate the JCPOA. The implications are significant. The US had hoped to use the Strait of Hormuz as a strategic deterrent, but by closing it, Iran has turned the tables. The Iranian delegation believes this is an unprecedented set of circumstances, and the current US administration is finding it challenging to navigate. Eyre notes that the attack on Iran and the subsequent closure of the strait have given Iran a newfound resolve to resist pressure to shutter its nuclear program. The US is now faced with more complex negotiations than before, with the Iranian delegation wielding significant leverage. The situation highlights the complexity of the US-Iran relationship and the challenges of managing the nuclear program. A fresh round of tensions has emerged as diplomatic efforts between the US and Iran hit a snag in the neutral ground of Pakistan. Good evening, I'm your name, and this is a recap of the latest developments in the ongoing US-Iran talks. The scheduled start of talks in Pakistan on Friday has been marred by a cloud of uncertainty, with no announcement yet on the arrival of negotiators from both sides. The talks, which were meant to focus on implementing a fragile ceasefire in the Middle East, have been complicated by accusations from both sides. US President Donald Trump has expressed his displeasure at Iran's handling of the Strait of Hormuz, which was meant to be reopened under the deal. Trump has stated that Iran has failed to live up to its commitments, a claim that Tehran denies. On the other hand, Iran's leader, Hassan Rouhani, has accused Israel of launching a series of attacks in Lebanon, which Iran claims has disrupted the fragile ceasefire. Rouhani has warned that Iran will retaliate against any Israeli aggression, which has raised concerns among some regional powers. The talks in Pakistan are significant because they offer a chance for the US and Iran to address their differences and find a way to reduce tensions in the region. The Middle East has been a hotbed of conflict in recent years, with the US and Iran locked in a bitter rivalry. The talks are also a test of Trump's ability to navigate the complexities of the region and find a way to work with Iran. The future of the talks remains uncertain, with both sides still to make any progress on key issues. It remains to be seen whether the talks will be able to overcome the obstacles and achieve a breakthrough, or if the tensions between the US and Iran will continue to escalate. As tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate, a trio of critical developments brings the world's top leaders to the negotiating table. Good evening, I'm Hoda Abdulhamid, reporting live from Doha, Qatar. The US and Iran are set to resume high-level talks on a ceasefire in the Middle East, despite the ongoing tensions and the fragile state of the agreement. The negotiations, which are taking place in Doha, aim to address the issues that led to the escalation of violence in the region. The talks are expected to bring together key officials from both sides, including U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian. The ceasefire, which was agreed upon last week, has yet to take effect in full, with both sides still trading fire in various parts of the region. The latest exchange of fire came on Friday, when Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu authorized the deployment of troops to Lebanon to counter Hezbollah's rocket attacks. Netanyahu's move has been seen as a significant escalation in the conflict and has raised concerns among regional powers that the situation could spiral out of control. Meanwhile, Iran continues to maintain its stranglehold on the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway that controls much of the world's oil supply. The talks in Doha are seen as a last-ditch effort to prevent a wider conflict in the region. If successful, they could pave the way for a more lasting peace agreement. However, the road ahead remains fraught with challenges, and the outcome of the talks is far from certain. The international community is watching closely, as the stakes are high and the consequences of failure could be devastating. As tensions escalate in the Middle East, the latest economic data reveals a worrying trend. Inflation is on the rise in the United States. A war on Iran has disrupted global energy markets, leading to a surge in inflation rates in the U.S. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported a 0.9% increase in consumer prices in March, the largest uptick since May 2022. The increase was largely driven by energy prices, with gasoline rising by 21.2% and fuel oil increasing by more than 30%. The conflict began on February 28, when the U.S. and Israel launched a joint military operation in Iran, killing the country's supreme leader Ali Khamenei. The attack triggered a response from Iran, which closed the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial waterway that connects the Gulf to the Indian Ocean. The move sent oil and gas prices soaring, with the price of a barrel of oil reaching $120 during the war. The U.S. and Iran have since agreed to a 2-week ceasefire, which would see Iran lift its blockade on Hormuz. However, marine traffic in the strait remains at a fraction of its pre-war levels, and Iran's Fars news agency has announced that oil tankers have been suspended from passing through the strait in response to an Israeli assault on Lebanon. The ceasefire has brought some relief to the global energy market, but the situation remains volatile. U.S. President Donald Trump has warned Iran against blocking the strait or charging vessels for safe passage. The disruption to energy markets has had a significant impact on the global economy, and the effects are being felt in the U.S., where consumer prices are rising. The situation is being closely monitored by policymakers and economists, who are keen to avoid a prolonged period of high inflation. And that's the latest for today. Thank you for watching. We'll continue to bring you updates on the Iran situation and its impact on the global economy. If you want to stay informed, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. We'll be back with more news and analysis tomorrow. Until then, good night, and we'll see you soon.